Channeling all his blessings, he transforms into his Saint Knight form, dodges the beast's opening strike, and soars forward to deliver his first blow. The huge monster blocks Yi's attack. He struggles to pierce its tough skin and quickly realizes this battle won't be as easy as he first thought. The beast, enraged, retaliates with a flurry of strikes and sends our protagonist flying. He survives only because of his Saint Knight armor. Without it, he would have been killed instantly. Now Yi understands what he needs to do. Drawing on his determination, he summons the spirits of victory and conjures multiple light spears. He throws everything he has at the monster, but it withstands the barrage easily. Our boy realizes he can't overpower such a strong creature by brute force alone. While he could wear it down slowly, he wants to finish the stage quickly to secure first place. Still, he's certain there's a way to win. Yi notices the creature is much slower than he is. If he keeps attacking from all directions, it won't be able to defend against every strike. As he lands a heavy blow, he makes another discovery. The Minotaur may have immense life points and endurance, but its resistance is lacking. The damage he's dealt is starting to add up. Determined to end the fight, Yi unleashes several high-damage abilities at once. He knows timing is crucial. If he runs out of mana, he risks disqualification. Although he hadn't planned to go all out, he uses everything he has. Finally, he brings the beast down. Yi achieves an SSS rank on his exam clearance, becoming the top student in the district. Even he is shocked by the result. Before arriving in this world, our protagonist faced tragedy. His mother died, and his sister fell ill with a terrible disease. Despite everything, he kept moving forward. The appearance of the system gave him a second chance to fix his life, and he refuses to waste it. As he leaves the map, the system displays all the rewards he earned from battle. People welcome him back, and a boy even calls him a god. Director Jean congratulates him, saying that solo clearing nightmare difficulty within 10 minutes is an unprecedented honor for the Second Academy. Based on his experience with the exams, Jean believes Yi has the potential to reach first place in Sukang District. Yi humbly replies that the praise is too much. Suddenly, a supercar arrives at the venue. The director informs him that the final results will be available in at least 3 days and promises to notify him immediately. Yi thanks the man, suggesting he rest and wait for the good news. Leaving the venue, our boy heads straight to the hospital. On the way in, he reflects on how, after their last conversation, Director John quickly kept his promise. Yoon was moved to a deluxe suite with a professional medical team monitoring her condition around the clock. At the hospital, Yi tells a nurse he's there to visit his sister and share some good news. He also notices an unusual chill coming from the air vents. When they reach the 26th floor and the elevator doors open, they are shocked. The doctors and nurses are frozen in place, and the walls and floors are covered in thick ice. Worried for Yoon, he sprints toward her room, leaving the nurse behind. Within seconds, she too is frozen. He smashes through the ice with his giant axe and enters the room. Inside, he sees a towering ice monster circling, while Sis Ching desperately tries to protect the fragile girl. Yi prepares to attack the ice monster with his magical fireball, but Sis Ching warns him not to. She is busy using her magic to protect Yoon. He asks what's happening, and Ching explains that if they attack carelessly, Yoon's heart might shatter. Our boy then asks about the presence of a dragon in the room. He notices his sister lying on her bed, covered in ice. Ching tells him that Yoon's cold disease flared up, freezing everyone into ice. She can only keep the cold from spreading beyond this floor, so she urges him to leave quickly. Yi, however, is worried about his sister. Ching admits that without a high-level priest, there's nothing more she can do. Our protagonist quickly assesses the situation and commands his system to use all his skill points to upgrade slow recovery. The system activates, informing him that slow recovery level 4 enhances slow regeneration level 10. This will gradually restore health and mana to teammates within a certain range for a set period. It also notes that it's using enhanced slow regeneration. Ching is surprised by the power of the Saint Knight's healing skill. It even surpasses the abilities of a level 23 priest like her. While completing the healing process, Yi tells her he will hold the situation here and instructs her to inform Secretary Zhao immediately, asking him to call a high-level priest as soon as possible. Ching explains that high-level priests have packed schedules. Secretary Zhao had only managed to book an appointment with her for next week, so even if they call now, the priest will not arrive in time. Yi insists she should still tell Zhao. If he can bring a high-level priest here, our boy promises to do anything for him in the future. Understanding, she quickly leaves. Yi reflects that Yoon has endured this burst of cold every night for the past year, suffering intense pain because of the cold aura. He knew the cold had been getting worse, but didn't realize it was severe enough to affect the outside world. As he pushes himself, the freeze shatters the window and begins spilling outside. Yi is still holding back the cold when the ice dragon lunges at him. Suddenly, someone throws a fireball at the beast, hitting it on the head. The fireball ricochets around the room. He yells at the person to stop and not to touch his sister, but the attack accidentally hits him and knocks him away. A female saint appears, challenging the dragon. Wielding a magical spear, she attacks its head and commands it to leave. She increases her magical power, fights fiercely, and eventually defeats it. She then tells Yi that it's over. Asking if he is the one she has heard about, she drives her spear into the ground, releasing magical rays that thaw out the frozen doctors and nurses. She introduces herself as Chui Lie, a level 35 secondary awakened priest from Qingyun City. Lai expresses his gratitude. Chui explains that director Zhan asked her to treat Yun in advance. She adds that if Zhan hadn't told her about Yi, she wouldn't have broken the rules and fought the cold for so long. It seems the director was truthful. When Yi asks about his sister's disease and whether it can be cured, Chui explains that the leaking cold energy solidifying into a form is a sign of bloodline awakening. He is shocked by this revelation. She elaborates. When the Eternal game first appeared, many players chose characters from other races, elves, giants, demons, and more. When the game merged with reality, those players gained the traits of their chosen bloodlines. For example, people with elven bloodlines have greener eyes and longer ears, while humans with giant bloodlines can grow up to 3 or 4 meters tall. Over the past 200 years, these players intermarried with humans, diluting the bloodlines. Over generations, most lost their special traits and powers, except in cases of bloodline awakening. Chui warns that bloodline awakening can bring both fortune and misfortune. A successful awakening means the person can control the powers of other races, greatly increasing their level and learning abilities. However, failure can result in paralysis or death. She explains that Yun's body cannot withstand the power of her bloodline, which is likely a rare freezing bloodline. For Yun to survive, she must change her constitution. Chui says that, as far as she knows, only a treasure called the Freezing Lightus can change a human's constitution. This artifact is able to suppress the cold, which will fully erupt in 3 months. Another option would be to use a powerful sealing skill to lock away the bloodline, but she warns that using this skill would prevent Yun from leveling up in the future. Chui tells him to contact her once he's decided. 5 days later, Yi is doing his daily workout routine. After completing his daily mission, the system prompts him to choose his reward. He asks for stat points, thinking that he usually selects them as his daily quest reward. Constitution and intelligence are important for a Saint Knight, but he knows not to neglect other stats. Following his usual pattern, he distributes his points across 4 stats using the 2, 3, 3, and 2 method for balanced development. The system then announces that he has completed his achievement mission and congratulates him on earning first place in the Sukang District exam. It informs him that his rewards will be issued according to his results and proceeds to list the skills and grades he has earned. A newscaster announces that the first place winner is the Black Horse from Jiangli City. She also shares that this individual was only level 10 upon entering the realm, and that his class awakening ceremony triggered a divine phenomenon, a clear sign of his destiny as the top contender. Secretary Zhao informs the media that he always believed Yi would succeed after witnessing his awakening as a Saint Knight. That conviction led him to advise the government to increase their investment in the young fighter. Inside a bustling restaurant, people are abuzz with talk about the new champion. Some discuss whether a Saint Knight is a support class, while others express skepticism. One man argues that he doesn't like Yi, pointing out that it usually takes a long time for such a class to clear a realm alone, especially for someone who was only level 10 tackling a Nightmare Realm solo. A girl interrupts, revealing she has recordings that prove his abilities are genuine. She confirms that he is indeed powerful. People begin to wonder aloud why his holy cross appears even more formidable than high-tier magefire magic. They marvel at his weapon blessing, calling it a gift from the gods and a blessing of courage, and someone even asks how many buffs he has. Meanwhile, a red-haired man sits alone in his house, reflecting on Yi's most recent victory. He notes that the clearance time was 9 minutes and 24 seconds, 20 seconds faster than his own record. Frustrated by the loss of honor, he angrily shoots his servant robot, fuming that the boy dares to outshine him, and vowing that Yi is courting death. On the other side of the city, our boy strolls through a park when he receives 2 messages from the Zhongli government on his phone. Each message details a very large sum of money, pending his confirmation. He immediately calls Secretary Zhao to ask if something is wrong. Jay reassures him that, in recognition of his brilliant exam performance, the government is awarding him 5 million in cash and a luxurious mansion. He asks if Yi has a preferred location for the mansion, but our protagonist replies that Zhao can choose it for him. Zhao then informs him that recruiters from the top 3 universities are on their way to meet him, offering to send a ride. I responds that there's no need, because the recruiters have already arrived. A young man approaches and introduces himself as a recruitment teacher from Rongyang University. As he greets Yi, another recruiter descends from a helicopter, loudly questioning why the Rongyang teacher is even here after criticizing him in the past. The Rongyang teacher warns the lad to be careful with his words, explaining that Tian, the newcomer, could not see the truth and has since been dismissed from his university. He then offers Yi a place at Rongyang University, along with a 4 million yuan incentive. Not to be outdone, Tian, representing Modu University, counters by promising to double whatever offer Rongyang University makes. He is confident that Modu will secure the enrollment and urges everyone else to leave. Suddenly, a woman with large wings appears beside Yi and, without warning, scoops him up and begins to fly away.